Hello everyone. I, Sanjay Kumar, welcome all of you to this discussion on the Ohm's law. We all know that Ohm's law is a fundamental law useful for anybody who starts learning electrical engineering sciences. Ohm's law basically studies quantitatively the electrical resistance offered by a conductor to the flow of electrons. Ohm's law was stated by George Simon Ohm in the year 1827. Let us understand what is Ohm's law. Ohm's law consider this circuital arrangement where we have a metallic conductor. Across the conductor, we have applied a variable electrical potential difference V, which upon closing the switch S produces a current I flowing through the conductor. Now, if you do not change the temperature of the conductor, if you do not change the dimensions of the conductor, and if you do not change the conductor itself, which is all summed up as a physical condition, what the Ohm's law says is, so long as the physical state of a conductor remains same, the current I flowing through the conductor bears a constant ratio V upon I with the potential difference V measured in volts applied across the conductor, which means if you increase this voltage, the current increases. If you decrease this voltage, the current decreases, giving you this kind of behavior, graphical behavior. If we make n number of measurements of the voltage applied across the conductor and the current produced in the conductor, if V1 corresponding to I1, V2 corresponding to I2, V3 corresponding to I3, if we see here, if the voltage increases, the current increases. That means the current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the voltage we applied across it. But Ohm's law is stated in this way that the ratio of the voltage to the current is constant. If we have n number of values of voltages and corresponding currents, then for each value, the ratio of V upon I is a constant, which is denoted by R. And R is the constant which is the quantitative measure of the electrical resistance. That means the electrical, that physical opposition offered by the conductor to the flow of electrons. What is R measured in? R, that is the electrical resistance, is measured in ohms in the SI unit of systems. And it is 1 ohm if the applied voltage is 1 volt and the corresponding current produced is 1 ampere. The unit of R is denoted by OHM or the Greek letter capital omega. There are two types of conducting substances, ohmic and non-ohmic. If a substance is a pure metal, it will show you this kind of behavior. If it is an alloy, it is also going to show you this kind of behavior. Later on, the line splits and it may actually sag off or it may split off. And especially for semiconductors, Ohm's law is not obeyed. It is obeyed only in the initial small range of applied voltage. Here we have changed the axis. Here, for understanding the Ohm's law, it is V and I over here. But here, applied voltage is an independent variable and the current produced is the dependent variable. So for studying a device, we plot this kind of graph. Ohmic substances or ohmic conductors are metals and alloys, and semiconductors like germanium and silicon, they are non-ohmic. They do have variation of current. The current increases with increasing voltage, but the behavior is not linear. More or less, it is parabolic. If we have a conductor, now let us understand the magnitude of resistance of different substances. Pure metals like silver, copper, aluminium, they have very small opposition or resistance offered to the flow of electrons. If we consider the dimensions as 100 meter, if the radius of the cross section of the wire is 1 millimeter, that means if the wire is 2 millimeters thick, then from the data using the CRC Encyclopedia of Physics and Chemistry, we arrive at these values. For silver, the resistance of a wire having this dimension will be 0.505 ohm at 20 degrees. All these standard measurements are carried out at 20 degrees Celsius. That is an international standard for measurement. For copper, the resistance will be slightly higher, 0.535 ohms, and for aluminium it will be still a little higher, 0.844 ohms. Now that prompts us to use silver as our conductor in our household appliances, but as you know, silver is very expensive, so it is used only in specific devices where some other chemical properties of silver are useful. The next option is copper. Copper is comparatively much less expensive, so in quality wirings, copper is used, and where budget is a problem, the next option is aluminium. Now, different substances have different resistance. Ohmic substances have pure metals as well as alloys. Two particular alloys are of greatest importance. One is nichrome, the other is constantan. The resistance, if suppose the resistance of silver wire of this dimension is Rs, then the resistance of nichrome would be roughly 7070 times the resistance of silver, and that of constantan will be approximately 2860 times the resistance of silver. This shows that these alloys, they are having very high resistance, and this high resistance is a useful property of these substances because they become useful in applications where electricity needs to be converted into heat. For example, water heaters, then heating, cooking plates, and electric iron and things like that. Ohm's law gives a way to understand electrical sciences, and it is applicable to all the further theoretical developments in electrical engineering. Again, to sum up, let us understand that the ratio of the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the applied voltage across the conductor in such a way that the ratio V upon I is always constant. That constant is R, and it is the quantitative measure of the electrical resistance of the conductor. Thank you.